Hey, welcome to another live stream. It's been a long day here today and very cold as well. So I'm just going to do some work on a new track I've been putting together. So thought maybe you want to join me. So I'm going to be going to live for this, Ableton Live. me just stop. Okay. I think you can hear me now. There's always something. There's always something, and I'm distorting. Hold on. Huh. Okay, great. Thank you, Benoit. I appreciate that. Yeah. So yeah, the bass comes in sweeter without drums. That's true. In fact, I was thinking I need to do something to the kick just to. I think there needs to be a pulse present, you know. And in terms of bass, though, I think, yeah. What are we using? The Prophet. I think the massive, this bass sound here. Yeah. So I think that's one of my own patches on Massive. Yeah, trees. I think that's from a TV thing I did a long time ago. It's basically a sine wave, isn't it? With a slow attack. Yeah. Yeah, I can make more of that. So it's been a while since we've even looked at this track, so I can't quite remember what some of these things are. This one. Let's just hear what this lyre is like. Yeah, it's good to shake some air bones. I'm looking at my, when I was playing those bass notes. Let's bring them back in. I'm looking at my sort of TC electronic thing. The frequency's not so bad. It's a bit of a rumbler though, that's for sure. I think the thing with this, and as Benoit says, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correct. Je suis désolé. If not, I think there is too much going on, so less is more in this case. Perhaps with a kick, sometimes I like to use, even though I have a real one, the process of wiring that in is obviously sometimes too complex and slow. The Mogafoga, that on there, and let's just. I think this is a friend of mine had a Juno 6 and I sampled it. It's been so useful. Let's mute that for a second and let me check what this ambient is. Just usefully named ambient. What was that originally? Something I've recorded. Just takes up so much bandwidth. It just takes from the lower end up. mean, I guess I don't want to do too much that's mixing. I'm just working with headphones late at night, so yeah, personal samples. I have so many of them actually over the years. I think that's a really good point. Thank you. I think personal samples are essential, and whenever you can get the opportunity to record something and sample it, it's essential. I think in my private, it's my private library here. Oh, that delay is cool. That's the clouds thing. What's that delay? Oh, it's a galaxy. It sounded like a galaxy. With an auto pan going. Yeah. Yeah, I sampled some Korg 700 before I had my own one. I borrowed one of this producer, Luke Smith. It's quite amazing producer. I borrowed his Korg ones and just, I don't know, tried to get some bass stuff going on. The reason I did that, there's a film with Nicole Kidman, and the composer was Alessandro Desplat, and Birth. The film's called Birth, and it was orchestra with a synth doing that sort of thing. Hang on, not that. This. Sorry. It doesn't. Yeah. Let's turn it off. Okay. Lots of these sort of oscillations. Really low and cool. And as a sound source, the Korg 700 is just incredible. It's just so beautiful. I mean, what else is going on here? I've a light bulb. I recorded a light bulb. I don't know if you can hear that. Hang on. That's a light bulb hitting a light bulb, and of course processing the sound. I mean, it's interesting how I remember that. I remember me when I recorded that, and the kind of person I was then, the kind of composer or slash producer, musician, and so full of hope and artistic hope. I thought that something like this is actually quite useful. This list, it's verging onto sound effects, and I think that's what I liked then. And it's interesting how you get sort of sidetracked by more commercial projects or scoring work or whatever, and these things become less useful, because what you actually want is something that can immediately be the right sound, the right time. Just going back to the chat down here. Oh yeah, you know what? You mentioned the film I made with the lyra and how every note was a sample into itself. Well, okay, before your next comment there about running instruments through the lyra, because that sounds fascinating. In terms of the, I'm actually thinking of selling a sort of, well, not selling, I don't know, making available a sample pack of lyra notes that I've sort of extracted from those various films. I think that could be interesting for people. I mean, other stuff I've got, I don't know, I shouldn't be showing you this. Yeah, this is from a project I did a long time ago. I love this. I did a film called Map of Hell, which is about all the different sort of, what was it, for National Geographic, and it had the actor who calls himself Machete, American Mexican actor. Anyway, it was about all the different cultural connotations of how they're represented, and so I booked a bass trombone, double bass, and cello to make some sort of sounds. I know I'm assuming you can hear that. I think you can hear that. Sometimes OBS is weird. Oh yeah. Oh, the glistening drones. I love that stuff. So we've got double bass and the cello, and I believe one is going to gliss, the other isn't. And then some stabs. Yeah, usual. Anyway, I'm dying to play some of these choir samples. I recorded a choir for something, and anyway, back to the track. So, I have filtered the kick. The lyre back. Yeah, what I was thinking. I just want to say it wasn't the film called Machete. It was and yeah, I think that's better with the kick. The film wasn't called Machete, it was called Map of Hell, and it had the actor whose name I can't remember, but his nickname is Machete. Yeah. That's so annoying, I can't remember his name. I mean, he's kind of reasonably famous. Sorry if he's watching, which he's probably not, but he is a famous actor. Yeah, it'll come back to me. Okay, all right, so yeah, there's the bass. I just want to turn the bass right up. Danny Trejo, thank you very much. Did that come from your head or from Google? It's interesting. I almost think that a track like this, it can go in two directions. It can be more ambient. I mean, I think in terms of groove, just the kick, that as it is enough. It's almost like, okay, if you look at my, sorry, I'm thinking too many things at once. I'm thinking that what it needs is I need to make some outboard stuff. In fact, the Velcro's too hard to rip off. I've got my Fairchild circuitry, shallow water. I bet that this would sound great going through that. You know, the whole master bus going through that. IMDb, yeah, good. And yeah, and no, you know, no, biased. It's not biased. I think ambient. It's so hard to make ambient, isn't it? Because it's a discipline to not do too much. That's why, as I said before, doing this live on YouTube, and I'm sort of experiencing this with you, hearing it through your ears, whoever's watching, and it makes you think, you know, okay, this is a bit empty, or it's a bit too busy. And what is it actually? Is this ambient? Is it IDM? Those genres, you know, should you be thinking genre already, or should you just be trying to make something that sounds cool? We all know these are the things that go through our minds. Anyway, so what I'm thinking is something on the master bus. Now I've got so much going on. We don't need that limiter. I love the studio tape and what it does to it, but I might keep it on actually. I don't think we need this. Yeah, this is my mastering, thing that I always use for mastering. Let's just take this off. Yeah, maybe the God particle here was a bit too much. You know, there's two aspects to the God particle. This thing, whatever that does, I don't think anyone really knows except for Jason. Can't remember his second name, or if that's his second name. Anyway, and this is a sort of limiter thing. Yeah, I think, you know, calm is better. No, thank you for that, Benoit. Should probably turn the bass down. Yeah, I mean, really not touch. Okay, okay, cool. Well, you know what? I'm not going to touch a thing. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think what I might do is leave it for now. Yeah, as you say, I can listen again tomorrow and see. It's almost like now the kick drum is too round, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I've definitely saved this as a version. I think the kick drum just needs to be a bit more bit more attack. Yeah, thanks. What headphones are you wearing? Also, I just noticed there's a live is just updated. That's scary. Yeah, I mean, I think realistically, this is the kind of track that would be on in the background anyway. So yeah. Yeah, no, thank you for your help with this. I think it's interesting too because there is a sort of harmonic direction, which sometimes I think isn't really right for ambient music. It's implying something is about to happen, and I think that's really good for film music. I always think film music, you should feel like something's about to happen. Not all the time, but you know, where appropriate. But in something like this, it might be a bit. It might cause a bit too much energy, a feeling of anticipation, like this upward movement here. Well, hey, if it sounds good in Bluetooth headphones, then, you know, that's got to be good. I'm really tempted to put some of that choir in. Just random. I think, you know, I can make a simpler instrument out of that or something. I think that proves my point about how sort of a harmonic direction then sort of takes it straight out of being ambient. Like just that choir note was obviously it was dissonant to what was going on in the track, and so therefore, you know, you want to resolve that somehow, therefore implies a harmonic direction. Even this, you know, forgetting about the choir, the last note I have, I'm not sure which track it's coming from. It's sort of like a sharp 4. Not that one. I think it must be the Juno. Very subtle. Anyway, you know, I actually think, yeah, no, I love dissonance. I love dissonance. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Actually, what I can try doing with a kick. Well, firstly, let's just change this a bit. There you go. What were you cooking, by the way? I see, I like this sound more. Just taking some of the, you know, oomph out. I like that. By the way, this baby audio plugin, Tape, it's sort of called, I just think is great. I use it on so many things, so many weird things you wouldn't expect to be used on. And the drive, you probably know this already, but just in case you don't, you know, the drive is great. Let's try that. Oh, I kind of like that. We're changing genres again though. There's a lot of protein in that meal. The tape red thingy, and by the way, that's cool about software synths. I think that's so cool. The tape thingy, this thing I think you mean. I mean, it's you know, it's just a lo-fi sort of plugin. I think you've got the noise, which is it's that tape noise, isn't it? Actually, it's quite nice. And I think this sort of adds a bit of wow and flutter. Obviously it's harder to hear on this. And the presence is good. I might turn the noise off, keep the presence up. I'll show you what it's like on a more tonal track. I'll go from here again, and just bring this into here. Oh, I like that. That's very, okay, who am I thinking of? Yeah. Who is the early 2000s ambient band? Too much oscillation, yeah. No, I know. Too much movement, too much energy. Again, just a little tiny bit. It's a nice hiss, though. Yeah. I might just leave a little bit of it on. It's very subtle. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes to get that, it's waves, but that vinyl plugin they have, if I just turn off tape, actually I'm gonna like this, I think. Things like, oh, I quite like that. The wow and flutter on this is quite good. But actually, no, the wow and flutter that sorry, I just remembered, is if we go back to Universal Audio. Think. This on here and a bit of wow. Okay. Benoit has an update. The bass from the orange track. Yeah, that's the bass. Yeah, sorry. That is massive, i.e. the instrument. Yeah, so that's that instrument which I showed you before. I made this bass sound for a TV film called One Killer Punch, hence the patch name Trees One Punch. It's a good documentary about the terrible things that happen in street fights. I mean, street fights are terrible, but you know, people fall over or get knocked over or knocked out and their head hits the floor, and it's not good. Sorry, I don't mean to sound flippant about something so terrible. Yeah, massive is massive. It is massive. Yeah, okay. All right. So actually, one thing that's come out of this, just in the exploration of this Lyra track here, was I wanted to add some wow and flutter using this Ampex. You can hear it sort of there. I mean, I really like that. I have got my old Revox. I'm going to start using soon. In the meantime, and we were also adding some vinyl sounds with this. That's the crackle there. We don't want the noise though. And then if we unsolo. You know, actually, one thing about the kick, it could be. It's just a bit too groovy, if you know what I mean. I might just delay it a bit, like in terms of putting it a bit more behind the beat. Yeah. This track, what is it for? It's a good question. You want this kick drum to go, I know. Just for you. Just for you. It's gone. Okay, hang on. Yeah, the clockwork, as you say, the regularity of the bass is creating too much of a structure, a framework, and that's a rigidity. I like how the compressor, the sidechained compressor, is still feeding off that kick drum. I love that sort of thing. So the kick's still there, you just can't hear it, you can feel it. Okay, well there's a lot to unpack in what you've just said there. I am liking this now without the kick drum, and I think you're right, it could come and go. I've been noticing a lot of random plugins, randomizer plugin type things lately, becoming more popular. I prefer just to do that. Like just automate that, Actually, I like that. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is at a later point is as Benoit has mentioned, bringing in the kick drum now and then. I think that's good. This is almost a co-write now. Thank you so much for your input. So, Hans Zimmer, the future of music is without beats. I mean, when do beats start? I guess, actually, yeah, landmarks. We don't want landmarks. You're right. You're totally right. You've won me over. I'm happy. No, I was thinking about this the other day. The undervaluing of. Okay, I'm just gonna turn this. I'm gonna play this from the top now one more time, and I'll just turn it down and tell you what my thoughts are on beats. So, I think musicians in this country, the UK, are hugely undervalued. It's an English phenomenon. As a musician, a touring musician, you play. I mean, there are big audiences here, and the English, because I'm going to talk about the English. They love music and they support music. But it's the politicians who don't. And the difference when you go play in Europe, such an amazing response, almost universally throughout Europe, and you come back to England, and it's just this feeling of like, it's just not taken seriously enough until you prove yourself and become a highly paid pop star or whatever, I don't know. And Brexit is a good example, because it made life incredibly difficult for an industry, the music industry, which was bringing in a lot of money into the economy every year. So anyway, I was thinking, there should be more respect to one of the oldest professions, which is being a musician. And what came first? The early humans hitting things. I mean, there are a few jobs, a few professions, a few vocations that sort of were there in the very beginning, and being a musician was one of them. Like being a soldier, like fighting, making music, cooking, hunting. That's an aside. Coming back to beats, I guess what they were doing then was making beats. So perhaps Hans Zimmer is correct, because a long time ago they were making beats, and now they're not. Yeah, you're right. I mean, what we define as a beat is very cultural. It's a cultural perspective on what we find is rhythm, is regular, is groove, you know. So one thing I learned doing a film about the origins of art, which was about, it was Anthony Gormley talking about cave paintings that have been discovered around the world, and one theory is that the reason why they went so deep into a cave to do these cave paintings is because of the reverb. A good reverb in the cave was a sign of comfort and safety. And that's just a theory, obviously. I think the theory came about because a lot of the people who, you know, the scientists examining these cave paintings noted that the reverbs in the different caves had similar qualities. So it was almost like they were just as relevant as everything else. Anyway, yeah, Benoit, there's no beat, but you can hear the measures. Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. So that's what I'm thinking. You know, they like reverb, so then they start making noises in the reverb. Interestingly, there was a prehistoric bone flute discovered, and it's tuned to a pentatonic scale, I believe a D major pentatonic scale. So you can imagine them sitting in their cave, nice fire going. Outside the cave, you can hear, you know, thousands of wildebeest, the rumble of hooves going past the cave, and they're inside the cave thinking, you know, what is that? They don't even know what these crazy animals are, so all they can do is just try and paint them on the walls, and play their flute and enjoy the reverb. And it's a pentatonic flute, so there's no clashing. Okay. And on that bombshell, they paint their dinner, yeah. Well, yeah. It's almost like kind of food you made for yourself tonight, I think. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Especially Benoit. I really appreciate the help. I'm just going to stop live and save that. I like where that's got to suddenly. I'm really happy with that now. So yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I hope to see you again on one of these live streams. Let me just get the music happening. What have we got here? So yeah, again, thank you, and thanks for all your help and input. Let's do this again soon. So I will see you next time. Hope you enjoyed that and maybe found it useful even. Okay. Thanks for being there with me too as well. All right, see you next time. Bye.